Let me hit record. There we go. Kim, you spoke a little bit about turnovers and having that talk with the team about that the other day. It seemed like it was really crisp in the first half, especially today. Did you feel that way about it?
Chad, I did. In fact, that's one of the things I talked to the team about after the game is that I wanted them to understand I don't care who you play. You can play sloppy, you can look good, you can look bad. And I thought the 11 turnovers we had were, that's just improvement. That's improvement. And I talked to them after the game about that. I talked to them about the foul line. I thought they stepped up there and made free throws today. I thought they had a lot more energy when the game started. And, it's we have good days and bad days on the offensive end, but I thought our energy was good. I thought today's game allowed us to work on our zone. Zone. Did you hear me say that? Zone. I got it out. Never know when we're going to need it.
Well, and another thing you mentioned the other day was playing aggressive, doing what you want the players to do, and yet playing aggressive at the same time. And then, so when you're running the floor like you did, and you have plays like where Jordan throws a down court pass and the player doesn't even have to dribble before making a layup, that's an aggressive play without turning the ball over, right?
Well, Chad, any aggressive play without turning the ball over makes you feel good as a coach. We got a lot of easy layups in transition. I thought that Queen and Liz and Hannah and those guys rebounded the ball, and all they had to do was turn and throw outlet passes. And our style. We're known for post play, but we're also known for our post better get up and down the floor because we're not walking it up. And I just thought we got a lot of easy transition baskets today.
All right, we'll go to Curtis, and then we'll go to Jerry Hill.
Coach, how do you go into tomorrow? Are you looking at this as kind of building toward the postseason when you have games in consecutive days? Are you looking to build more on scheme? How do you approach tomorrow's game?
We just need to play. We just need to play games. This game today was a makeup. We were supposed to play this game back in November, and we squeezed it in because after Christmas we all hold our breath and wonder if we're going to come back from the holidays with COVID. So we had 4 games in a week. Ideally, you don't want to do that, but we just need to play, guys. And yes, practice. There's a lot of teaching, and probably in practice, there's no question that when we go against each other, it's much more competitive. It gets heated. And yet at the same time, sometimes we just get tired of that, and we just need to play games.
All right, Jerry.
Hannah, I know you had the good rapport, good connection with Sarah Andrews, but it seemed like a lot of yours today might have come from Jordan. Jordan wound up having 10 assists. Are you getting into a better flow with maybe the whole team now?
I think definitely I am. Just running the floor and posting hard. I know they're gonna get it to me, and Jordan specifically. As soon as she get the ball and take off, I know I'm coming, and she's gonna look at me first.
And make sure, guys, you play the game today, and you don't realize she had a double-double. Assist and points, Jordan Oliver, had a double-double. And we talk about Melissa's 30, and I put her back in there. Dee Dee has a way of getting under my skin sometimes in a good way, and Coach let her get one more shot at it. So there's no question Melissa's 30, Queen's 21, and even Hannah's double figures 22. But need to talk about Jordan Oliver taking care of the basketball, 10 assists to 1 turnover, and then being able to score the ball.
Kim, is that her another year into the program and just getting more comfortable?
Well, I hope so, Jerry. I hope that, as you grow in a program, you start relaxing more. But, all these kids, when you recruit them, they're all good players. It's not like all of a sudden you coach them down or you don't want them to be successful. It's just sometimes they look good in some games and sometimes they don't, and that's what you expect the freshman and sophomore to be like. It's just like a roller coaster. And then one day it'll all just kind of click, and it'll be more consistent.
All right, Chris, introduce yourself, and then we'll go back to Chad.
Coach Mulkey, Chris Williams, KWTX News 10. Obviously, with the new transfer rule coming in, Jaden Owens was able to play today. How nice was it for you and for her to be able to get out on the court?
Well, she was emotional yesterday after the game when she found out. Was it yesterday, guys?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday when she found out she was eligible to play immediately, and we all just hugged her. And yet at the same time, she wants to play, and it's different. She has done everything we've asked her to do in practice, scout team, and done it just very, very hard, practicing hard, doing the scout stuff very hard. And now her mindset has to change and start thinking about what we do instead of preparing us for games. And I wanted her to get in there with the older bunch, with the returning players and the starters, and so that she would look good. She hit her first shot. She had a steal. So she got a good 10 to 11 minutes of play, and that's good.
And Coach, I thought it was interesting that they cited mental health reasons as part of the reason for allowing these transfers. How much, A, do you think it helps her just feeling better to be out there? And B, how much has the team helped her transfer in such an odd time?
Oh, I think our team embraces transfers just like they do freshman recruits. They understand that you're coming into a program that's bigger than you, and they want to be a part of it. They've either played against us or seen us on TV, or we recruited them and didn't get them, and they come back and go, I really want to come be a part of it. Kamaria McDaniel is one sitting out, and she had knee surgery. It's going to be exciting when she comes back next year and can play.
All right, Chad, and then Hawk.
Nalissa is there, right?
She's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, excellent. Nalissa, Monday you had the lob that the alley-oop that got a lot of attention. Do you think your teammates kind of heard you because you got a couple of lobs today and were able to finish those?
Yeah, actually lobs is pretty normal to us. They throw it all the time in practice, so we practice it a lot. So now it's real natural to us. Every time they get the ball, they I'm just gonna throw it up. I tell them I'm gonna go get it every time.
All right,
Excellent, thanks.
Hawk, and then Jerry.
Melissa, like Coach said, you guys just need to play games. What's it been like playing this stretch of games and knowing you still got one more game tomorrow?
I think it's very good for us. Experience is just always good for us. Like you said, sometimes practicing with each other, we get used to playing with each other. So playing other teams, it helps us find a feel for each other and build team chemistry. So I feel like playing games against other teams, it's a good experience for us.
Coach said Dee got under her skin to get you back in there for another shot. How much did you want another shot?
I was going to be sick if I went home with 28. So Didi told her, and I was happy she let me go back in.
And Kim, just for you, like you said, you guys need to play these games. You've got a lot in this short stretch. What's the next 2 weeks going to be like, though, after tomorrow when you've got that 2-week stretch? What's the plan?
Pray every night that none of them come back with COVID. And that's the truth. I know who we play. I know we've got TCU on the road, and then we have UConn. And I've always been a firm believer when recruiting, and anybody can tell you that's played for me, I tell them, I want you to be home for Christmas. That's a special time of the year, and you need to be with your family. There's been times where we've let them off only 5 days because of scheduling, and there's been times we've let them off on 10 days. And it worked out this year that they can have a good, 8 or 9 days. We'll leave after the game tomorrow, and they'll return on the 28th for a COVID test to prepare for the game at TCU on the 2nd. So it's not anything different as far as the Christmas break. That's pretty much the same. The difference is the COVID testing and just holding your breath that, we're going to stay away from it. We're so fortunate. I'm just telling you, we all knock on wood every day. We haven't had it. And that's a good thing, but it's also a scary thing, because what does that probably mean? We are going to get it at some point, and timing is everything when you're trying to compete this year. You know, people are canceling games, postponing games left and right. The scary part is as you get into conference play, January, February, and the playoffs, you can have something like COVID affect the fact that you might not even make the playoffs, even if you were selected. I think about all those things and think, I've already been in that helpless position in March when those 3 seniors begged and cried and wanted to come back, and I couldn't help them. And yet here we are still trying to play games, and we are, but truthfully, with the protocols and rules, guys, there are teams that could get into March, could be the conference champs, and get hit with COVID in the NCAA playoffs. That's my biggest fear.
All right, Jerry, and then Chad, you can close this out.
Kim, you kind of touched on it there at the beginning, you know, the things that you talked to them about after the Wednesday game. The fact that they seem like they kind of followed all of that, is that a good step, even in a game like this, that they did exactly what you talked about?
The things that we talk about internally, when you see kids respond and you see a different performance and different attitudes and different, yes, that's part of growing. That's part of recognizing. That's part of self-awareness. That's part of allowing yourself to be coached. And that's, I guess the biggest thing is it's just growth. It's just growing up and becoming a better player and a better team.
All right, Chad.
Melissa, I'm curious when it comes to this break and it comes to, you know, the COVID situation and everything. Have you thought through kind of a game plan in your head, you know, with your friends and relatives, how you want to handle that while you're home?
Well, I mean, you can't really be scared of it. You can only like prepare yourself for it. So I mean, the little things like washing your hands, distancing yourself from people, I feel like that's just gonna take you a long way. You can't like stop your whole world. You just gotta continue. Like she said, pray about it and just come back.
What about, is there any kind of sense of accountability with your teammates that, you know, people don't go out to, some sort of gathering where there's a couple hundred people there or something like that?
Well, yeah, we have a very smart team. Everybody knows that not to be selfish and do something, you know, that's going to turn on the team. So, I mean, we've been dealing with this COVID thing for over like a year now. So I feel like everybody kind of has a feel for things, and they know they can't go out and just do stuff. That's crazy.
Thank you.
Got you.